Hello friends, welcome to this new video where we will be rather doing the detailed analysis of Shinzo Abe assassination. So definitely it is a very heartbreaking news for all of us. And as you know that Shinzo Abe was a very experienced, he was a very inspirational political leader. So we all are very much disappointed by his assassination. So let's look into the detailed analysis. So first, let's look into the overview, the flow which we will be following. So first, we will be discussing about the upcoming upper house elections in Japan. Then definitely we will be discussing about the Shinzo Abe campaign on the Friday morning, that is 8th of July, when the assassination took place. So we will be discussing about campaign, that particular campaign. Then definitely we will be discussing about Shinzo Abe getting shot dead. Then gunman got detained by the police. Obviously, it was open fire in the public, so there was no chance to gunman to escape from that place. Then we will discuss the havoc that got created after the news spreading of the news of the assassination. And and the most important part of the video will be the conspiracy part, because so I will give you a clear cut proofs which will prove that it is not a normal incident. Definitely there is a conspiracy involved in it, so definitely we will decode that also. And then in the last phase of the video, we will be discussing about the prominent voices across the world who have been so definitely they have condemned the incident, so that also we will discuss. So let's get started. So definitely the first part will be upcoming upper house elections in Japan. So as you know that Japanese House of Councillors election, so that will be taking place on 10th of July 2022. Yes. So as you can see on the screen, this election, so basically in the upper house there are 245 seats, and this election will be contested for 124 seats. So 124 of the 245 seats in the House of Councillors, and definitely 123 seats will be needed for a majority. Now the question is, who will be contesting, means who will be the leaders participating in the election. So we have three leaders. So Fumio Kishida, so he is also the current prime minister of Japan, as you know that. So he belongs to Liberal Democratic Party. Similarly, the other contestant is Kenta Zumi. So he belongs to Constitutional Democratic Party, and the third contestant is Natsuo Yamaguchi. So he belongs to he is representing basically Komaito party. Yeah. So it is very clear. We already know that Japan also follows a democracy. So there is a voting system just like India and United States. Now let's jump into the next part, that is Shinzo Abe campaigning for upcoming elections. So on Friday morning, that is 8th of July 2022 morning, so Shinzo Abe was busy in campaigning. Yeah, so he was campaigning at a political campaign event for his former party, uh, that is the Liberal Democratic Party, in a road junction in the southern city of Nara for a parliamentary election around. So basically, that place is 300 miles, or you can say that 480 kilometer away from the capital city of Tokyo. So he was giving a stump speech for political candidate, that is K Sato, who is basically a current member of the upper house, running for re-election in Nara. So he was basically supporting him. Yeah. Now let's look into the next part. That is Shinzo Abe shot dead. So very important part. So at 11:30 local time, that is local Japanese time, and 2:30 GMT, and 8 a.m. in the morning of Indian Standard Time. Uh, Shinzo Abe got shot. So shots rang out, and 67-year-old Shinzo Abe was shot twice from behind. So you can see in the picture there is a person, the red mark you can see that. So he is the person. So he is the killer. So he shot two bullets, so two gunshots, and be from the behind, as you can see. So he was standing behind. So it got into the neck also, about 5 centimeter or 1 inch apart, and Shinzo Abe also suffered some damage to his heart. So definitely, just after getting shot, he became unconscious. So okay, so Mr. Abe was conscious for some time, and he was responsive also in the minutes after getting attacked. But his condition later got deteriorated, and definitely he was rushed to the nearby hospital. So that hospital is Nara Medical University Hospital. So he had to even receive a blood transfusion in the hospital. Yeah. And after 4 hours of treatment, Abe was pronounced dead at 17:03 local time, or you can and that is 1:33 p.m. in the afternoon Indian Standard Time. So he was declared dead. So definitely, I can. So it is a very saddening news for all of us. But what we can do that. Yeah. Now let's jump into the next part. Now, definitely, gunman, since it was open firing, so gunman got detained by police. So security officials at the scene, so they tackled and detained the 41-year-old Nara. So the gunman was 41-year-old Nara resident. So Nara, that the same place. So he was staying in the same place where the incident took place. That is the Nara city. So Nara resident gunman, and the name was his name is Tetsuya Yamagami. So yeah, so he shot that, and police made no attempt to run and just grab him, and they also seized the gun which he used. So the gunman, so that is Tetsuya Yamagami, is a former member of Japanese maritime self-defense force, or you can say that Japanese Navy, just like we have Indian Navy, US Navy. So Japan also has Navy. So he served there. So basically, he is. You can say that he is a government so servant, or he served the government of Japan. So yeah, it's very strange. He did this kind of event act. So he's also have left active services. So he was in the service, government service. Okay, so he left that service in 2005. The police also discovered several possible explosive devices during a search of his home. Very interesting. So he was also carrying some explosive at his house. And NHK said bomb disposal technicians are preparing to carry out a controlled explosion on the premises. Okay, so their main plan was to do some explosion kind of activity, but it is very strange because see, from a logical perspective, from from the explosion, you can stay hidden for a while because police will investigate. It will take some time to catch the uh, culprit. But here, the Tetsuya Yamagami, he just open fired. So it is very strange because he served the government that services, and he was a and Japanese. You know that they are very decent. So yeah, so we will look into the conspiracy part. So we can smell the conspiracy. I can so very easily smell the conspiracy. I hope you are also getting the observations. Now let's come to the next part, that is havoc in Japan. So definitely, once the news will get spread, so there will be havoc. Uh, yeah, people will get shocked. What has happened, because he was their favorite leader. For your information, yeah, Shinzo Abe served as Prime Minister of Japan for 3 terms, and he was into politics for more than 30 years. So he was a very respected, honorable leader of Japan. So definitely, it is a very disheartening news for Japanese. So the okay, so in the figure you can see the gun, the improvised or homemade double barrel shotgun. So yeah, you must know that, or you for your information, taking a gun license in Japan is not easy. In fact, carrying gun in Japan, because Japan is a very non-violent country, so there you will not see cases of violence, nor the attacks and all that, gun attacks. So carrying gun or any weapon in Japan is very challenging. Means you have to follow lots of tedious processes. So that's not easy. So here you can see that so it is not a normal gun. So it is a special type of gun which is made from in the home. So it is an improvised and two-shot barrel gun. So that we can see that. Yes, just and once the news got spread, all the ministers across the country were told to just stop the campaign and return to Tokyo, because you never know the extent of conspiracy, whether the conspirators were targeting only the one leader or they are targeting the entire party. So here, since it was the assassination of just Shinzo Abe, so we can say that we cannot link this assassination with the upcoming election, according to my point of view. We because to affect the elections, definitely this event will bring more emotions. So the party, his party, Shinzo Abe party, so people will automatically give more support to Shinzo Abe's parties, that is liberal party. So definitely this assassination has nothing to do with the upcoming election. So there is some other links. So that links we will discuss that disclose very soon. Yeah. And also on Japanese social media, the hashtag, some viral hashtag, we want democracy, not violence, definitely was trending, with many social media users expressing their horror and disgust towards the incident. Definitely. Workers at the scene, so in the image we can see the workers in the scene. So after an attack, so at that Tensu Yamota Saidaji Station Square. So this is the name of the place. So in the Nara, this place, that is Kintetsu Yamota Saidaiji Station Square. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can see in the image. So I have written the name. The name also you can pronounce it. Okay. Great. So now let's jump into the next part. So definitely, this is the most interesting part. So definitely be very active listening to it. So it is a clear-cut conspiracy. So I will prove it. It is a clear-cut conspiracy. It is not just a coincidence. Let us suppose any person, any civilian or any citizen just got frustrated with Shinzo Abe, and he decided he did lots of injustice to me, my family. I suffered a lot because of him. I have lots of guilt against him. So I just made one gun and just shot him. I surrendered myself. It is not that straightforward. We have to apply some common sense. It's a conspiracy. So let's try to decode that. So we will be doing point analysis. So see, incidents of gun violence, as I have already told you, are very rare in Japan. Yeah, and where handguns are banned. So in Japan, in fact, handguns are banned. So if you want to carry gun in Japan, you have to take lots of permissions. It's not easy. Yeah, and incidents of political violence are almost unheard of in Japan. So from the data, from the observation, we can very easily that conclude that Japan is a very peace-loving country. So political violence is very rare. And in 2014, there were just 6 incidents of gun deaths in the entire year, only 6 on an average. And in the United States, it was around 33,599. So you can just imagine Japan is a very peaceful country and the people are very generous, very compassionate people. They give respect also. So they are very nice people, Japanese. So people have to undergo a strict exam. Okay, so in order to carry the gun, so they have to pass some exams, strict exam, mental health test they have to pass. Then only they will be able to buy a gun. And even then, only shotguns and air rifles are allowed. Some special type of shotguns and air rifles are allowed. It is not that we can take any gun. Yeah. Okay. So see, so from this 3 points, it is very clear that this these kinds of events does not occur in Japan. Japan is a very peace-loving country, and all of a sudden, on 8th of July, Shinzo Abe getting shot is a very strange, and it is a very strange in terms of Japan. So definitely, it is a clear-cut conspiracy. I mean, something fishy is there. It's not just any citizen just out of guilt shot him. No, there is some other reasons might be there. And now let's dig deep into more points to prove the conspiracy. Mr. Abe did have a team of security police. Definitely, he was surrounded by security with him. And but it appears the shooter was still able. Yeah, it's a very to get to within a few meters. So from the image we saw, the shooter was exactly standing behind Shinzo Abe and yeah, few meters of Mr. Abe without any sort of check or barrier. It's very strange because yeah. So ultimately, what we are trying to say, the shooter was able to bypass the security barrier. Uh, okay, and the shooting of such a prominent figure is profoundly shocking in a country that prides itself on being so safe. So that we have already seen. And yeah. So see, two observations we have done. The first observation is Japan is a very peace-loving country, so it's a very rare and a very strange incident, assassination, that to open fire. And second, the shooter was able to bypass the security. It's very rare because the the team of security police are very smart because Shinzo Abe was a very influential leader. So they are very smart people. They are agents. So they can sense all the fishy things. So bypassing them is not a coincidence. So it's strange. It's a conspiracy. Means yeah. There might be some conspiracy. We have to get into that from the investigation point of. And one more very interesting observation, Mr. Tetsuya Yamagami, he is the person who shot it. He told the police he was dissatisfied with former Prime Minister Abe and aimed to kill him. He is also reported to have told officers that he do not hold a grudge against the former prime minister's political beliefs. So basically, the shooter did not had any personal grudge against the political beliefs, but he was dissatisfied with former prime minister Abe, and hence he aimed to. So see, this statement just debunked all the conspiracy because it's just a so foolish statement it is. Let me prove that. Okay. The first observation is this: uh, Shinzo Abe is not in office. He is not the prime minister. Prime minister, he is not the prime minister. So definitely, he will not be taking all the decisions. So he is not influencing people's life because that prime minister will be doing. No? So he is not in office. Very important observation I make. So how can the shooter be dissatisfied when the Shinzo Abe is not even in the office? So what the shooter was doing in the past 3 terms, if he was dissatisfied, so why today itself on 8th of July? And this 8th of July also we have to be very careful about this. Why today only 8th of July? So if he was dissatisfied, so and interestingly, Shizo Abe is not serving any office, and he was also having some health issues. So definitely he will be taking rest and he will be living his life. So how can you be dissatisfied with a leader who is not in office? So are we fools? You just answer me. Are we fools to listen all this shit from the shooter? So definitely this. So the statement of the shooter is telling it a conspiracy. So it's a clear cut conspiracy. Yeah. So now we have proved that it is a conspiracy. Yeah. And I am giving a hint also. So I am not directly blaming, but I am giving a hint. So see, the idea is this: if it is a conspiracy, it means why someone wants to kill Shinzo Abe. It means Shinzo Abe was active in the background. So rather, al- although he is not serving the office in the background, he might be doing lots of activities which certain group of people or some country might be having objections, or they might felt some threat from Shinzo Abe's work. So that's why they decided to just eliminate Shinzo Abe. And here the most of the focus goes to China because of their act. So see here two very important observation you have to make. First, there is a 70 years of bitterness between Japan and China. Just you look into the World War II, what Japan did to China. So China and Japan, there is always a tussle from 70 years. Although in today's that speech, the finance minister of China had said that this assassination has to do nothing with our past bitterness or that whatever tussle. But look at the social media of China. So see people, what Chinese are telling. They are telling lots of laughter and hot shots were taken at the incident. Was he killed? So they are surprised. Means it means they wanted to get him killed. Who was the anti-Japanese hero? So they are appreciating the shooter in the and do we know who the killer is? I want to send him some money. So see, this is the kind of shit which has been spread in China against a very influential leader. So definitely, it's so we can smell the conspiracy, and definitely we can smell China also. Okay, now let's get into the last part. That is, prominent voices across the world have been quick to condemn the incident. So definitely, we had the statement from Boris Johnson, so UK Prime Minister. So he called it a despicable act, and we also had Prime Minister of Japan, current Prime Minister of Japan, Fumio Kishida. He also said it is a barbaric and malicious, and it cannot be tolerated. Definitely, it cannot be tolerated. This attack is an act of brutality that happened during the elections. The very foundation of our democracy, and is absolutely unforgivable. So, although Mr. Prime Minister is pointing elections, but we have already seen that this assassination has to do nothing with the election. It's definitely, we have proved that in the background, Shinzo Abe was active. He was doing some kind of activities which was a threat to a particular group or a country. So that country can be any country, but according to the observation and whatever we have investigated, we have seen that China is in the top list of probability. Probably China can be the one who has plotted this conspiracy, according to the observations and the shit the Chinese are spreading on the social media uh, for such a respected leader. So that's very strange. We can see the bitterness of that 70 years old China and Japan tussle. And I respect China also, Chinese also. So definitely Japan also has done lots of torture to China in the past. In the World War II, you can study it. So it's very clear. With due respect to China and Japan, we are just discussing what we are seeing, nothing out of the box. And also, we have the United States ambassador to Japan, Ram Emmanuel. He said Mr. Abe had been an outstanding leader of Japan and unwavering ally of the US. So definitely, during his time, Shinzo Abe time, Japan and US were very it had a very pleasant and good relations. Adding that the US was praying for his well-being, definitely. And we have the foreign minister of China, Chinese foreign ministry spokesman. So sorry, he is not the foreign minister. Sorry for that. So he's the spokesman representing the Chinese foreign ministry. So he is Zhao Lijian. So he said his country was shocked by the attack and hoped for Mr. Abe's speedy recovery. That's great. He added that this unexpected incident should not be associated with Sino-Japanese relations, as I have already discussed with you, and had no comment when asked about Chinese social media reaction. So see here the hypocrisy. On one side, they are the honorable China foreign ministry, Chinese foreign ministry is telling, please don't link this incident with Sino-Japanese relations. Okay, and on the other side, sorry, the same Chinese foreign ministry is silent about the Chinese social media reactions. So you can see that China is very strict. So whatever the Chinese Communist Party will announce, people have to follow that. It is very strict, and people are scared of their administration. Now, if they just float a notice, uh, be silent, don't disrespect Shinzo Abe. Let's him a honor during his last uh, hours. So just let's pay tribute to him. So that should be floated, and people have to follow that. And if anybody making fun, if it is very easy to catch in China, so they have the entire control. They can do whatever they want. All the data they have, so they can very easily just collect all those people and stop all these activities. So this is the Chinese hypocrisy. On one side, they are saying don't link Sino-Japanese relations, and on the other side, their people are making mockery of Shinzo Abe, and the foreign ministry is silent. When the media is asking, okay, what about Chinese social media reaction? They are silent. So this can't be done. So see, we are not fools. The word is not fool, and this the Chinese Foreign Ministry has to understand. Yeah, you cannot just fool. Okay, nice. So thanks for watching. I hope you liked the analysis. And if you want some special kind of analysis or uh, some special topics or content, so you do comment me. So I will try to make some good content. And also, if you like the video, please like it, subscribe it, and share it also. So let's okay. Bye. Thank you.